Hi fans, and welcome to this Week 4 edition of the Woodland Hills Football Network pregame show. This past Saturday, the Wolverines traveled to Shaler and defeated the Titans 59-21, setting a new program record for points in a single game. This week, the Wolverines will travel to Baldwin to take on the Highlanders in a Southeastern Conference matchup. We're going to sit down with Woodland Hills head coach George Novak to review last week's victory over Shaler, preview this week's game against the Highlanders, and we'll also let you see highlights of last Saturday's game. All of that and more on the pregame show right here on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Quinn back to pass, looking midfield, and he finds his man, but it's overthrown and intercepted. Intercepted, here comes Woodland Hills, back the other way, over midfield, across the 45, and taken down at the Shaler 45-yard line. One wide to the left, he's looking for him on the out pattern. He's got him down the seam, and Woodland Hills on the board for the 23-yard touchdown pass. Quinn drops back, looks to his left, feels pressure, moves to his right, flag on the play, he's going to be sacked, ball comes out.
Joel Shaw did a great job of wrapping up the Titan running back, forcing the fumble. It looked like Woodland Hills did recover that fumble.
And here comes the handoff, taking up to the right side, untouched to his left, and carrying it in for the Woodland Hills touchdown is Joel Shaw. Cooper back, handed off, carrying it up, and busting over the middle. Here comes Shaw. Shaw breaks the tackle. Shaw's going to head all the way down for pay dirt. Shaw across the goal line. Touchdown, Wolverines. Hand off to the right side. No room. Backing up now, fumbling on the play. Unable to find it. Who's going to come up with the football? I think it's going to be Wolverine football, and it is. To the right side. And a little stiff arm, and just jogging into the end zone for the Woodland Hills touchdown is Miles Sanders. Handoff, left side, no room. Titans blow up this play, but racing to his right now and finding room to the right side is Sanders. Sanders finds open Rass. Sanders to the 10, the 5, the touchdown. Look at the individual effort by number 4, and Sanders scampers into the end zone for another Woodland Hills touchdown. Quinn back to pass, looking 3 men on him. They're going to drop the screen. This one worked earlier in the game, and it's going to work again right here. Here comes Few. Few to his right. Few breaks the tackler. Few's going to go down the sideline. He's got one to beat, and he's going to burst the final 5 yards into the end zone. Quinn looking to the left side and well overthrown, and it just lands right in the hands of Jamon Dunn. Here comes Dunn up the right side. Dunn's got one to beat, and he's met and brought out of bounds at about the 5-yard line. Looking downfield, throwing ahead right onto the hands, and a good soft-handed catch. That was Stephen Poole. Cooper back to pass, under pressure, drops it off near side, lots of room, and jogging in, untouched for the touchdown is Abram Abramowitz, the 6'3" junior for the Wolverines. Handoff up the middle and a twist and spin and breaking out of traffic. Now running to his left, here comes Shaw. Shaw's going to cut back to the inside, carrying tacklers with him. He's going to bring it all the way down near the 10-yard line. Back will hand off. Shaw to the right side, and Shaw has clear space running across and into the end zone. Will hand it off and bursting across midfield and many yards and still carrying it forward and finally being brought down was Peyton Hicks. Hand it off to Denard. Denard up the middle and through for the touchdown is Quinn. Single back. Quinn with a heavy rush drops it off underneath. A little bit of room. Cutting to his left. There he goes. It's Nick Few. Nick Few on the burst. Gets past the defense. He's got one to beat. Few will race past everyone down the sidelines. 5, touchdown. Back to pass this time is Robinson. He'll drop it off left side, and again it's number 80. He'll dance on the sideline on the left side, now trying to fight his way in, and he will fall across the goal line for the touchdown. This is Jaquan Smith. Zukowski under center, play action fake, looks back, drops back, now he's going to throw deep. He's got a man, he's got the catch. Running into the end zone is Battaglia. Battaglia gets behind the Woodland Hills defense. And look at that throw from number 17, Hunter Zukowski on the connection.
We are the Woodland Hills Wolverines. Since 1987, we've been a part of some of the most electrifying football games in Western Pennsylvania, and we've established a national reputation of excellence. Whether you're a former player, a Woody High alum, a parent, or a fan, you're part of our Wolverine family. And now you can join us by becoming a part of our new booster club, the Wolverine Nation. Visit WHFBA.org and see how your donation can help our student athletes while earning you unique benefits. We're more than just a booster club. We are the Wolverine Nation. Hi again, fans, and welcome back to this Week 4 edition of the Woodland Hills Football Network pregame show. Adam Gusky here, sitting down with Woodland Hills head coach George Novak. And Coach Novak, before we talk about this week's game at Baldwin, let's take a look back to last Saturday's game at Shaler. A big victory for the team in a game where you set a program record for points in a single game.
Well, we weren't trying to set any records. We substitute a lot, especially in that second half. And our young guys, they left their varsity players in, and our young guys got in there and, did a real nice job with it. They moved the ball and they scored. Of course, Shaler was able to score a couple of our younger guys, but that experience you can't get anywhere else. So it was kind of nice. It was different playing on Saturday afternoon. We haven't played on Saturday afternoon too much since we got the lights here, and it was different preparation week and going out there, a little different feeling. But the kids, they played well.
Another thing that was different was playing on the natural surface. Shaler still has grass.
Definitely, that was, a big deal. We told the kids to wear their cleats, their screw-in cleats, because of the turf, and the grass was nice and high. Tried to slow us down a little bit, but they played on the same grass. It was in beautiful shape as far as the field though. It was a nice grass field. In the old days, that would have been, cream of the crop right there. But our kids got to play on the grass and did well.
Coach, let's talk about the offense, and the first team offense really shone brightly, especially Joe Elshaw.
Yeah, they didn't carry the ball that much. Joel, he was able to break a couple long ones, that long 71-yarder. He just had a tremendous day up there, and he was playing defense and on special teams, and he did a real nice job. He's getting better every week, and he and Miles know the offense. They know what they're doing. They work well together, and we kind of mix things up. So people have to prepare for both of them.
Talking about preparation, seems like teams are now going to have to prepare for a passing game because Cooper was able to pass the ball around a bit.
Yeah, Duran is getting better every week. It's his first year quarterback, and now we picked some passes up for him to throw this week, and he read his keys, hit the right person, just did a real nice job. He's still going to get better, and we got to utilize the passing game because we do have some good receivers. I think, try to spread the ball out a little bit more so teams have a harder time preparing for us.
Usually one of his top targets is Jamon Dunn, but he shone brightly on the defensive end of the football this week.
Yeah, he had a bbig day on defense. We had a number of turnovers, and he was a big part of it. And he's big on our return team and all our special teams. He's very talented, has a lot of speed. He's one of our leaders, one of our top receivers. We're real happy with the way he's playing.
Last season against West Allegheny, the short passing game was a bit exposed, and that seemed to happen again against Shaler.
Yeah, we're a little bit too aggressive, and they hit us with some screens. It's it's bad, but it's good because now we know what we got to work on. Other teams are going to know what other teams had success against us. So, the screen is definitely something that we'll work on this week.
Heading to Baldwin this week, a team that always gives you a tough football game regardless of the location or the time of year.
Yeah, they have, he does a great job coaching out there, and those kids are tough kids, a lot like the Bethel kids. They play hard, they're very aggressive, and their team's not as bad as their record at times. They've had a lot of things go against them, offensively, defensively, and special teams. But they have a quarterback that can throw and run. That's always dangerous. They have some great receivers, and they have some tough kids on defense. So, we don't overlook or underestimate anybody. We prepare every week the same, whether we're playing the number 1 team or the number 8 team, because that's the way we always do it.
Coach, what can we expect to see from Baldwin's defense?
They run a 4-3 defense. I think they're going to pressure us, play us some man defense. You might have man free, but they're going to put 6 or 7 guys in the box when we spread it out, try to stop our run, because when we've spread it out, we've been able to run, and that's part of why Joel was able to run so well. But along with the line, they've done a nice job blocking. So we're going to mix it up. We got a lot of different formations, a lot of different things we're going to do offensively to try to match us up where we want to be matched up against them. They're a good team defensively. They're a 4-3 defense with a monster, and it's kind of interesting. One of the boys that moved there from our school is Jaquay Moran Miles, and he plays safety for him and receiver, so it'd be nice to play against him.
Coach, you touched on the offensive line, and you're going to be missing one offensive lineman going into this week. Stephen Rickard sustained a concussion last week against Shaler.
That was a tough break. Steve got kicked in the head on a play, and he'll be out for at least a week. He had a concussion, and that happened in this first half. And we had to put Jaquay Thomas in, Jr., who did a nice job. He's not doesn't know the plays as well as Stevie did, but he made a couple mental mistakes. But as far as athletically, he's a good athlete. He's a big kid. And, we're confident he'll be, after a week of preparing, he'll be ready to play on Friday.
It also presents another problem. You're without your traditional long snapper.
He only snapped, first quarter, so it was kind of, we had to put Mike McAllister in there, who's our backup snapper, and he did a real nice job on punts and extra points. So we're real happy with Mike. He's a very talented young man, and he stepped right in there, didn't miss a beat. And, we're fortunate to have 2 snappers like that. Stevie's a great player. We have 7 offensive linemen that are seniors. 6 offensive linemen, and our tight end are seniors. And with Amon out for a couple weeks, Steve out, so we have to next man up, and that's Jaquay at tackle. But Steve can play tackle and center, and our center, Lamont Spratley, he can play center and guard. So, we'll have some mixes once we get them all healed up and ready to go.
Well, Coach, earlier in the season we talked about Jim Tomsola, the head coach of the San Francisco 49ers. He played for you at Steel Valley. He was an assistant here at Woodland Hills. He came to Heinz Field and certainly didn't have the best homecoming.
He had a tough time, his team. When his running back got hurt early in the game, and the Steelers came ready to play. The offensive line and defensive line just did a fantastic job for the Steelers. Felt bad for Jimmy. He was pumped up. He had us on the sideline before the game. We talked to him a little bit, and he was pumped up more than I've ever seen him pumped up to come home to his hometown. And, it's one game, and afterwards he said it's one game. We'll go on to the next one. But I'm sure he'll do what we all do after a loss: work harder and get ready for the next one. Especially in the pros, you got to have a short memory because everybody's good every week. But he has a good team, and he'll bring them back, and they'll do well. But Jimmy coached for us for 1 year here at Woodland Hills, and he played for me for a few years at Steel Valley when I was over there. So he's a great kid. Everybody loves him. The organization loves him. The coaches love him. The players love him, and the fans love him. He just one of those guys. If you don't like Jimmy Tomsola, you don't like anybody, because he's a good guy.
Coach, one more thing about the Wolverines. A week ago, Pittsburgh Central Catholic lost. That moves your team from the number 2 ranking to the number 1 ranking. Does that put any more pressure on you?
We don't worry about the rankings too much. It's nice to be ranked and it makes you feel good, but pressure, yeah, I guess it does put a little pressure on you. But I tell the kids we take them one at a time, because the only ranking that counts is the last one. And if you look at Quad A, year in and year out, there's 7 or 8 teams that could win that championship every year because they have good teams, and we're fortunate enough we're one of those 8 usually, and North Allegheny, Central, Pine Richland, North Hills have great teams this year. Penn Trafford, McKeesport, Plum, they're at the top of their game, so they're going to be good. Bethel Park's a very good football team. They beat up with St. Clair. Mount Lebanon's undefeated again. They look very good on tape. So there's a lot of teams in there they could knock you off, and we still got West Allegheny. They're ranked number 1 in AAA, so we got to play them. They're on our schedule. So we got some tough teams ahead of us, and Penn Hills is still there. They're always there. They got great athletes. They're well coached. They have a good team, and they're always right there. They can make a run at any time.
Coach, obviously the focus shifts to the Highlanders, and we wish you good luck this weekend against them.
Thanks a lot, Adam.
We'll be right back with more of the pregame show right after this here on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Hi, Wolverine fans. I'm Eric Shuley, and this is week 4 of the Wolverine Watch. Cross country will head east to IUP to run in the Crimson Hawks Invitational on Saturday at 10 o'clock. The Wolverine field hockey team travels to Upper St. Clair for a date with the Panthers at 7 on Thursday, followed by a home game against Peters Township on Monday at 7 o'clock. JV football hosts the Baldwin Highlanders at the Wolverina on Saturday at 10. The boys golf team goes to Penn Hills for a match with the rival Indians at 3:30 on Wednesday. Boys soccer plays at Penn Hills on Thursday at 7:30, then at Franklin Regional on Saturday at 2:30, and next Thursday they take on the Fox Chapel Foxes at home at 3:30. The girls soccer squad hosts the Brashear Bulls on Thursday at 4. Then they face the Cavaliers in Gusky on Saturday at noon, the Gateway Gators on Monday in Monroeville at 6 o'clock, and back home on Wednesday at 4 to challenge Fox Chapel. Girls tennis battles McKeesport at home on Friday at 3:30. Then they go on the road to Fox Chapel for a 3:30 match on Monday. On Thursday at 7 o'clock, girls volleyball plays at the Plum Mustangs, followed by another away test at the McKeesport Tigers on Monday at 7:30. And on Tuesday, the Penn Hills Indians come to Wolverine country for a 5 o'clock start. That's it for week 4 of the Wolverine Watch. We'll be back with more of the pregame show right after this. Thanks for tuning in.
All right, fans, let's see where the Wolverines stand in the Southeastern Conference. And now let's take a look at the MSA Sports WPIAL Quad A Top 10 rankings.
Again, fans, we thank you for joining us for this Week 4 edition of the Woodland Hills Football Network pregame show. As always, you can tune into this Friday's game live on television on Monroeville Comcast Cable Channel 13, Penn Hills Comcast Cable Channel 98, Verizon Fios Channel 37, and on our YouTube channel. As always, our radio broadcast can be heard on our flagship radio station, AM 1550 WZUM, and on the web at woodlandhillsfootballnetwork.com. Our radio broadcast is also live and archived on msasports.net. And don't forget, you can tune in to replays of Friday night's game on all of our television affiliates and on our YouTube channel. For everybody at the Woodland Hills Football Network, I'm Adam Gusky, and we'll talk to you again next week as the Wolverines return to the Wolverina to host Upper St. Clair.
This has been a presentation of the Woodland Hills Football Network. Watch us on YouTube, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and as always, visit us at woodlandhillsfootballnetwork.com.